while playing in a game over at County Stadium, after my first game, told me that I should think about becoming a broadcaster.
He's a comedic genius. I've never met anybody who can spontaneously come up with some of the bizarre things that Bob Uecker comes up with.
200 lifetime batting average in the major leagues, which tied me with another sports great averaging 200 or better for a 10-year period. Don Carter, one of our top bowlers.
To make people laugh is a good thing. I used to get questions from my kids about, why do you do that? Why do you talk about yourself the way you do? I said, because it's funny and it makes people laugh.
Bob Uecker's major league career began in 1956 when he signed with his hometown Milwaukee Braves. 6 years later, he made his big league debut with the team, but he wasn't exactly their best player.
Could he hit? Well, I'm just glad I didn't take his advice. You know, Spahn, Matthews, myself, we would start talking about hitting, and everybody would said, Bob, this conversation you out of. Leave it alone.
Uecker's playing career surely wasn't memorable, but he still made an impact. Over his 6-year career, playing with 3 teams, it was his sense of humor that helped boost the ball club.
I roomed with him in St. Louis, and from day one, he came in and was screamingly funny. I mean, screamingly funny.
If the ball club was going bad, you know, he could say something and make everybody laugh and relax.
He was traded from the Milwaukee Brewers to the Cardinals in 1964. That was the year we won the pennant on the last day of the season. So to say that Bob Uecker was invaluable is really understating things.
Bob Uecker was part of a world champion in St. Louis, but outside of that, the career numbers don't look that impressive. He finished his career with a 200 batting average and only 14 home runs.
You know, he only hit 12 more home runs than I did.
It wasn't until Uecker transitioned to the broadcast booth to take over play-by-play duties for the Brewers in 1971 when he found his niche.
He's very funny on the air, but he is just an exceptionally good broadcaster. You really feel the game through him.
Ball runs and Ogilvy, can he get there? Yes, with a sliding catch, he's got it!
I sat right next to him for 12 years. He's a great play-by-play man.
Sets, here it is, swinging a bouncer, double play ball. JJ second, relay, double play! Whoa, what a finish!
I think where he really shines is when the game is 11-2 and it's the 6th inning, because then you have to go to plan B, and he starts telling stories.
But he was one of those guys that could take that 18-pack and that 64 MTD. He'd bang them all, yeah. He was good. 6 complete, 9-0 Brewers.
Our bullpen coach would come down to the bullpen, and he would always bring a radio, and we would always listen to the games in the bullpen. If you're getting beat 10-0, he can keep you entertained.
That aspect differentiates him from any other play-by-play man, maybe, who's ever lived.
And while Uecker was beloved throughout his native Milwaukee, because of his appearances on a certain late-night talk show, he was also endeared by a national audience.
I mean, Bob is a comedic genius, and nobody would have seen this had he not gone on Johnny Carson and done what he did.
What he did was put the host of The Tonight Show into hysterics. So much, in fact, that Johnny Carson made Bob Uecker one of his most frequent guests and dubbed him Mr. Baseball.
Here's a batting average here of 147.
Well, I was screwing around. I didn't, you know.
Bob was on Johnny Carson over 100 times.
That's about 99 more than I had.
Years ago, the old-timers wearing that leather supporter, when you sweat, it would expand.
And I'm just so happy that Johnny Carson gave him a chance to be the Bob Uecker that we all know the Bob Uecker can be.
As I've said before, when the word baseball is mentioned, I guess my name would automatically come to your mind.
For somebody to be on as many times as Uecker was, it gave him a chance to market who he was and what he could do. And rest assured, they wouldn't have come to him with the movies and commercials and all of that if he hadn't been on The Tonight Show.
You